Sebi Chacko, Head Human Resource South Asia.
And in Thomson Reuters, we talk about diversity as a business tool rather than corporate social responsibility.
Rashmi Nair, HR Business Partner.
So from an initiative standpoint, it dates back, as far as I remember, to 2007, early 2007, when we partnered with the CII team and actually co-sponsored an event where we did a job fair and got in a lot of people with disability to meet our business managers, interact with them, and that's when our actual hiring spree started, and we started targeting certain section of our population that was not previously tapped into.
Sumant, student at IIM Indore.
I started applying after my BCom to various jobs across Bangalore and across sectors in the accounting field as I am a BCom graduate. But many people took my interview, took my tests and all. They were like, "You are very good with whatever you have done, but we are not very sure that we don't have a policy to recruit people with you, and we are not sure how you will be able to perform the tasks." After 6 months, I went to Enable India. The first interview with their guidance was ex-Reuters, which is Thomson Reuters today, where Geeta and Anita took my interview and I was selected.
Geeta Menon, Customer Service Manager.
When I met Sumant, one of the things that I thought was he was quite witty and he was very enthusiastic. So I asked Sumant to come over to the office. We kind of had a very brief interview. We put him through a week of training sessions. So we had people within the team train him, and we gathered feedback from these trainers. And one of the things that came back to me was that he was really very willing to learn, very sharp. He could grasp concepts very easily, and which was basically the reason why we hired him. So
The real issue, however, was how do you operationalize an agenda and a vision in an area where everything is not ready. So the decision was to really cut it into small bits, get a pilot project in place, get people on board who are willing to take that risk, because it is extremely important that management has to take an initial step for others to move forward. You need to have a nodal NGO partner to really understand the space, get that understanding across to the business leaders, get that understanding across not only to them but to the line managers and middle managers, and then slowly work on the model in which you try and take people on, even though everything may not be perfect. So all the areas may not be accessible, but that's not required. You could have some area which is accessible and you could introduce this into that area and then work on the other aspects simultaneously.
I've been this is something that I've been quite vocal about, and this is really because of my experience with not just Sumant, some of the other people that we've had in the team. I'd say go for it because there's a lot of value you get in it.
The reporting manager and even the whole team where I was working knew that I was writing CAT, and they were really supportive.
Honestly, I think it was one of the best decisions because my team morale actually shot up. How it shot up is because you see people kind of coming back and complaining with a lot of workload, but Tejas was one of those guys who would come back and ask me, "Okay, Rashmi, I'm done for the day. I still have a couple of hours to go. So if you have something else, please let me know and I'll do it for you." And people sitting around him would say, "Oh my God, he's got so many issues and he's still so happy." So, it kind of pushed up the team morale.
Amit Reddy, Real Estate and Facilities.
In our company, we have persons with disabilities whom we provide customized services and special services like For in case of transportation, we provide home pickups and drops along with the escort guards who help them get into the vehicle. And for drops and pickups within the company premises, we have again the support staff being available for their pickups and drops. And in case of lady employees, we have lady security guards and lady support staff who help them get into the vehicle and come out of the vehicle with a lot of ease. We have ramps installed at all vantage points, all doors, where the employees have the ease of accessing them with minimum trouble. Also, we have lower level access readers where employees coming on wheelchairs can access the readers quite easily. Customized washrooms have been designed to suit the needs for persons with disability, especially for the ones who are on crutches and wheelchairs. We have processes in place to handle any kind of emergency within the company. We have a dedicated team of emergency response team which typically handles any kind of emergency on the floor. Persons with disabilities are the first ones to be evacuated. The emergency rescue team comes into actions and provides adequate support.
So the train and hire model was a clear-cut model where we sort of minimized the risk, maximized the return, used internal resources as well as our NGO partners, because any company would put training as an integral part of creating employable resources.
So if you look at the kind of people we've hired people with disability in terms of physical disability, we've hired people who have hearing impairment, we have people who've got visual impairment, we've got people with cerebral palsy. And personally, the most difficult hiring has always been people with hearing impairment or speech impairment. And the primary reason is because the hiring managers are kind of worried, how do they get them involved in team meetings? How do you kind of move them from one career path to the next career path where they might have to speak to clients, or they might have to conduct a team meeting, or where they might have to make presentations and stuff. So that's been slightly challenging because from a career path standpoint, it kind of gets a little limited for them in corporate. So we had a lot of these sensitization workshops where we kind of told them how they can probably put up presentations, sensitize a couple of people with sign language, get them to write post-its or notes or their views, or just type it out on RM, which is the Reuters messaging, when they're part of the team meeting. But the whole idea was that you need to have them included in any of the team activities that you are potentially planning to have.
Because in our country, the education system has been a bit non-inclusive. Because the special schools are totally not integrated with the other schools, and therefore there is always a probability that there are many people who are decision makers who have never come across a person with disability in their entire life. And when they meet somebody like a person with cerebral palsy, for example, they would feel that this person cannot contribute to the business and the company objectives and goals at all.
The initial set of sensitization programs were run with the help of Enable India, and they came and made those presentations to our manager population. Later on, some of those points were absorbed by the HR team, and we started running periodical sensitization workshops for our new managers, new team leaders. So when these people came in, they came with Shanti, and some of them came with Shanti and some of them came on their own. My first question to Shanti was, how is he going to commute from work to home and vice versa? And she said, Rashmi, if they could come to your office for an interview without a help, trust me, they will come to your office every day for work. And that made sense. I think everybody should hire at least one diverse set, because sometimes they bring in aspects which is not noticeable in other sense, like I said, the morale and so on. But it plays a very important role in bringing the team together and improving the performance.
We see this as a future for the organization as well as society.